Yes, Maharaj.
All right, so you covered I think the first 12 verses of chapter 7, and we'll be completing chapter 7 today, and we also try to go into the first few verses of chapter 8, if time allows. That's the plan. So chapter 8, very famous chapter. Prabhupada gave many lectures on prayers of Queen Kunti, and they're published also. We have the book on the prayers of Queen Kunti, wonderful prayers. So we'll be covering that chapter in the next class. And we'll hear also about Parikshit having to be saved again. And then chapter 9, yeah, Padma Sundari, yeah. Chapter 9, the departure of Bhishma Dev in the presence of Lord Krishna. So we'll see the theme of the first canto is the disappearance of so many great personalities from the world. Grandfather Bhishma leaving the world, and then after that, then we have the Pandavas retire timely. Well, you have before that you have the departure of Lord Krishna. You have the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty, the departure of Lord Krishna, and then the Pandavas retire timely. And in this way, the scene is set for the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. So that's basically what's going on in the first canto, right? So the first lesson today, we're going to be hearing about the son of Drona, punished. The son of Drona, of course, Ashwatam, the infamous Ashwatam, and how he acted and what happened to him, how he got punished. Can we go ahead? Yeah. So just to refresh your memory, you've already covered chapter 4, of course, some time ago. In the beginning of chapter 4, you have Sonakarishi putting questions to Sutta Goswami. In the very first chapter of the first canto, we had the sages in Naimisharanya. You had the same thing. You had Sonakarishi putting questions to Sutta Goswami. So in the fourth chapter, more questions were given to him. And these questions were more into relation to Srila Vyasadeva, and how did he, shown here, where did he get the inspiration to write the Srimad Bhagavatam, or to compile the Srimad Bhagavatam? Because he'd already written 18 Puranas and Mahabharata and everything. So what was it that happened? What happened that he was so inspired to compile the Srimad Bhagavatam? So Sonakarishi will also glorify Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. He described their wonderful qualities. Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, quite contrasting personalities. They really don't have much in common with each other, except for one thing, right? One thing which they have in common, they're both devotees of Lord Krishna. And that's a very important thing. Otherwise, there was really nothing in common. Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyas, totally detached person, very renounced and no interest in material life. Maharaj Parikshit, he'd been the emperor of the world and coming from the royal family. So they had very different backgrounds. But the one thing they had in common was that they were both wonderful devotees of Lord Krishna. And then Sonakarishi wants to understand, why would Maharaj Parikshit give up everything? That he had so much and he was doing so well. He was a good king. He was doing really nicely, ruling the world. So why did he have to give up everything and go and sit on the banks of the Ganges? Okay, so, right, all right. So here's another, coming into now chapter 7 and text number 12, where we want to begin our discussion today, right? So, would someone like to read this for me?
Sutta Goswami thus addressed the rishis headed by Shonaka. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu.
All right, so Sutta Goswami, he said, now I'm going to begin. We're already in chapter 7. He said, now I'm going to begin the narration of Lord Krishna. So we had to wait some time, but it's well worth it. We're going to hear about Lord Krishna. And the first 6 chapters were describing so many preliminary things, right? We had Vyasadeva and his instruction from Narada Muni, of course, that was there. And you had also the sages putting questions to Sonaka. They wanted to know what was the essence of all the scriptures. And so the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto, very nice, important. But now we're going to hear about Lord Krishna. This is, of course, not immediately. First, we're going to hear, well, Lord Krishna is also going to be there, but we're going to hear about particularly the sons of Pandu, Arjuna, and how he deals with the situation, how he is tested by Lord Krishna. Okay, we'll go ahead. So first section, chapter 7, beginning text number 12, beginning with this description of the pastimes of Lord Krishna and the Pandavas. This, of course, is taking place after the battle of Kurukshetra. The battle of Kurukshetra is over, and Bhim has also practically killed Duryodhana, broke the spine of Duryodhana. Duryodhana's laying dying. And then what happens next? We're told that Ashwatthama enters into the camp of the Pandava princes, and he kills the 5 sons of Draupadi, the 5 sleeping Pandava princes. We're not told exactly how old they are. Does anybody happen to know how old are these princes? They're young children anyway, because they're always described the children of Draupadi. And Ashwatthama's guilty of killing children and killing them in their sleep. Not a very glorious way for a Kshatriya. Of course, Ashwatthama, he's not a Kshatriya, he's meant to be a Brahmana. As the son of Drona, his father would expect him to be the Brahmana, but he did not live up to the expectations. All right, so first of all, we hear about Ashwatthama killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. And after killing them, then he runs, he flees, he has to get out of there because Arjuna is coming after him. Mataji, it would help if you didn't put everything there, you know, you put the whole thing in there, you know, if we could go them one at a time, it will be better for me. All right? Go on. We're on chapter 7, right? Okay, so we got the sleeping sons of Pandavas. Okay, now stop there, right? So Aswatthama flees and Arjuna sets out to capture him. In the Bhagavatam, it's described Aswatthama fleeing, that he's like Brahma running away from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was ready to kill Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma had become lusty after his own daughter. Lord Shiva was disgusted, he was going to kill him. And Brahma he ran. So the same way Ashwatthama runs for his life, because Arjuna is out to capture him. Right? He's promised Draupadi, I will bring him back and you can take bath standing on his head. Ooh. You know, yeah, Kshatriyas, they speak like that. They speak very boldly. Go ahead, one more. Next, we hear Ashwatthama's in danger for his life. So he realizes in order to save his life, he will use this weapon, the Brahmastra weapon. And he releases his Brahmastra weapon. The Brahmastra weapon, released by mantra, subtle device. When Prabhupada speaks about this Brahmastra weapon, he often talks about how at the time of initiation, devotees also recite a mantra. And Prabhupada quotes that he quotes that verse, it goes, this verse about seeing Lord Krishna within and without, purified or unpurified. One who remembers Krishna, then he will attain the spiritual world. How does it go, that verse? Remember, at the time of initiation, we always...
Oma Pavitra Pavitrovam?
No, that's not the verse I'm thinking of. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, right. You're right, actually. Oma Pavitra Pavitrava Sarvavastam Gatopiya Yasmaret Pundarikaksha. Pundarikaksha, right? Pundarikaksha. One who remembers the lotus-eyed Lord, purified or unpurified. Then his life is successful. Right. Thank you, Prabhu. Oma Pavitra Pavitrava Sarvavastam Gatopisya Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Swadhyantara Suchi Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. So Prabhupada was quoting that mantra a couple of times when he was talking about the Brahmastra weapon. He said, just like we are chanting mantras, he said it should not be a ritual. He said it's not just a ritual. He said it is a subtle science. And by reciting the mantras, we can actually awaken the spiritual energy. So Ashwatthama, he was able to use this Brahmastra weapon. But, of course, as you probably know, he has a problem, right? What is his problem? He knows how to release it, but
he doesn't know how to retract it.
Right, he doesn't know how to retract it. He's one who is able to release the weapon should also know how to retract it. So Ashwatthama, somehow he only knew how to release it, and he didn't know how to retract it. Interesting, you know, in the battle of Kurukshetra, we had, you know, Abhimanyu, his death was brought about because he only knew how to enter into the chakra. He didn't know how to get out of the chakra. And so he ended up being killed in the chakra. And so similarly, Ashwatthama, the son of Drona, he'd only learned how to release the Brahmastra, but he didn't know how to retract it. So Ashwatthama releases his Brahmastra weapon. Bharijan Prabhu writes in his book, Unveiling the Lotus Feet, that when the Brahmastra weapon is released, then the person who it's directed for, he knows about it. He's aware that that weapon is coming for him. So Arjuna was aware that this Brahmastra weapon is coming towards him. So what does Arjuna do? What, maybe one of the ladies who are there can respond and tell us, how does Arjuna react when he understands the Brahmastra weapon is coming towards him?
He released another Brahmastra towards him.
He releases another Brahmastra. What does he do before that?
He starts to pray to Krishna.
Yes, right. That's important. That seeing the Brahmastra come towards him, one will certainly be somewhat fearful. So when we're in fear, when we have some great fear, then devotees, we should all learn to take shelter of Lord Krishna. And we approach Lord Krishna for protection. But in approaching Lord Krishna for protection, Arjuna doesn't just simply call out to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, this Brahmastra weapon's coming, save me." No. What does he do first of all? He offers prayers. He offers heartfelt prayers to Lord Krishna. He has to glorify Krishna. He wants to appreciate Lord Krishna. So this is a very important part of the process of taking shelter of Lord Krishna, that we also have to pray to the Lord for his protection and to make us fearless. So Arjuna offered beautiful prayers to Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna then gave him the instruction that you also release a Brahmastra. Lord Krishna, of course, is omniscient. He knows that Ashwatthama doesn't know how to retract the weapon. So because he doesn't know how to retract the weapon, it has to hit something, it has to destroy something. So Arjuna releases his Brahmastra weapon to counteract Ashwatthama's. And then what happens? Chandrika Maharaji, do you know what happens?
I'm not sure, Prabhu.
All right, then we'll ask. I'm not able to see. What about Rasa Shekhar Prabhu? You can tell us what happens after Arjuna releases his Brahmastra weapon?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, it starts like a Samantak fire at devastation. All the universe, all living entities will be just fired.
Yeah, they'll feel the heat, right? The two Brahmastra weapons interact each other. There's a big explosion. And the whole universe is affected. They all feel the heat. The higher planets, the lower planets, the earth planets, they can all feel the result of the explosion of the interaction of the two Brahmastra weapons.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as I may be wrong, some Vashisht Rishi tried to stop them. I think some of them Rishi. I don't remember the name, maybe Vashisht. Beg your pardon.
Where's that told?
I'm not sure actually. I think that's what I.
We don't see that in the Bhagavatam.
Okay.
It may be in some other place, but it's not mentioned in our Bhagavatam.
Okay, then I'm sorry. I just.
Anyway, okay. So Ashwatthama, his attempt to destroy Arjuna has failed. And Arjuna has counteracted the Brahmastra weapon of Ashwatthama. And then the next thing that happens is Mahavirya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You can tell us what happens next.
Next actually, I'm sorry, Maharaj, I am not really sure, so I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll ask somebody else. Yes? Kamalangi Mataji. Kamalangi Mataji? No? Anybody know? What happens next after the two Brahmastras interact? Anyone else? I know Janmastami knows for sure, but I'd like to hear from some other people.
Arjuna arrested Ashwatthama.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Arjuna arrests Ashwatthama. And how does he arrest him? What manner does he arrest him?
By binding him in ropes like animals.
Yes, binding him up like an animal, not in a very courteous manner, not in a very respectful manner. Now, why would we expect Arjuna to be more courteous to Ashwatthama? What is their relationship?
Ashwatthama is Guru Putra, his spiritual master's son.
Yes, right. The son of Arjuna's martial arts guru, right?
Yes.
Drona had trained Arjuna in the military arts. So Arjuna was very much indebted to the teachings of Drona. It's even mentioned at the beginning of the battle of the Kurukshetra war, how Arjuna saluted Drona. Although they were fighting on the opposite sides, but still Arjuna saluted Drona because he recognized Drona as his guru. But this Ashwatthama has acted in a very, very deplorable manner by killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. So Arjuna arrests Ashwatthama, binds him up like an animal and brings him. Who does he bring him to?
Draupadi.
Yes, right. Because her sons have been killed. So she must, we would expect that Draupadi is feeling some bitterness. Very, very bitter that this man has come and killed my 5 sons in their sleep. All right, can we go ahead, Padma Sundari Mataji? Next one. Okay, we had Arjuna praise to Krishna. Go ahead. Oh, okay, this is Arjuna's prayer to Krishna. Right? We can just read it. Right? Maybe somebody would like to read for us.
Arjuna said, "O my Lord Sri Krishna, you are the almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only.
All right. So Arjuna appreciating the energies of Lord Krishna. Ultimately, everything is Krishna's energy. All of us living entities, we're also Krishna's energy. So Krishna has so many different energies. And if we want to become fearless, we have to take shelter of Krishna. We have to learn to bring the mind to think of Krishna and to surrender to Krishna. So Arjuna was showing us the proper manner in a challenging situation where a life-threatening situation. The proper manner is to pray to the Lord, offer prayers of glorification. And then he requested Lord Krishna that what to do. This Brahmastra is coming towards me. How should we deal with it? And Lord Krishna gives a solution. He tells Arjuna, you also release your Brahmastra, you counteract it. Because Ashwatthama doesn't know how to do it. All right, can we go ahead? Yes? Oh, thank you. Okay. So Arjuna releases his Brahmastra and then retracts them both. This is significant that Arjuna could retract both of them. The significance being that Arjuna is empowered as a representative of the Lord. He has the power to be able to bring both the Brahmastras under control. Because Arjuna is the devotee of Lord Krishna. So he's empowered by Lord Krishna. The power to do anything comes from Krishna. Just like we want to distribute the holy name. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, one who is got the Krishna Shakti, then he can distribute the holy name. Kali Yuga Dharma Hari Nam Sankirtan Krishna Shakti Vininahi Tara Pravartan. That we have to have the potency of Lord Krishna. So was that he offered his prayers and he was empowered by Lord Krishna, and in this way he could bring both the Brahmastra weapons under his control. Go ahead. Yes? So Arjuna's captured Ashwatthama, binds him up as an animal and places him at the feet of Draupadi. And how does Draupadi react? How will you act, Chandrika Mataji? If 5 of your sons killed them at your feet, how will you respond?
Probably, Hare Krishna Maharaj, probably I will be very mad. And I will want to kill him on the same place.
Yeah, I think that would be a fairly reasonable action for most of us.
Yeah, but she didn't.
But how does Draupadi react? What is her feeling?
She respect him like a Brahmana.
Yes, right. She has respect for him because he's the son of the Guru, and he's coming in that family, good family of their Guru. So she's got some affection. She feels that this is not right, Arjuna. And does everyone agree with Draupadi? Yadu Gopal. Veera Gopal, Prabhu.
My pranams, Maharaj. So nice to hear your voice and your darshan. Thank you. Maharaj, I personally, because I'm so stupid, I suppose, I disagree with Draupadi. First of all, by just not agreeing with her husband's actions, Arjuna was, first she desired, and then Arjuna brings him to her, and now she's disrespecting for me, Arjuna. Sorry.
But what about the people present there? How do they feel? Who's all there along with Draupadi?
Yes.
Do you remember who's there?
Yes, all the elders are there. The other brothers are there, and I believe. No, I don't remember actually, Maharaj. That's all I know. That only the brothers were there.
Yeah, the brothers are there, and who else is there?
Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Yes, Lord Krishna is there himself. Right, Lord Krishna is there, and the brothers are there, and Draupadis are there. So, Dauji Prabhu, how do the brothers feel? Do they all agree with Draupadi? Dauji Prabhu, are you there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, sorry, it took a while to unmute.
Okay.
Sorry Maharaj, I have not read that section yet.
Okay. Okay, we'll ask Mahamani and is it Mahamani?
Yes, Maharaj.
No, Bhima was present, and are you asking about who is present?
Yeah, well, we heard all the brothers are present, and Lord Krishna is present, and Draupadi is present. So I want to know, how do they all feel? Draupadi had said she thought, you know, this is not right. He's a Brahmana. We should treat him more respectfully.
Bhima wanted to kill him.
Others accepted. Yeah. Others accepted.
Bhima wants to kill him.
Krishna wanted to kill him too, but at the same time, yeah, he wanted to also please Draupadi as well.
He wanted to what?
Krishna wanted to kill him, kill Ashwatthama. At the same time, he doesn't want to kill, like he give a equivocal instruction.
Yes. Said Krishna, he also agreed with Draupadi that he's the son of a Brahmana. The son of a Brahmana, you cannot be killed, shouldn't be killed. But he also he thought, you know, he's done so many terrible things, right? Okay, go ahead. Yes, Arjuna captures and binds Ashwatthama. Next one. Ashwatthama should be killed or not. So this is a discussion. Should it be killed?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
This is Srivas Pandit Das here. Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Maharaj, actually, Krishna gives the equivocal instruction. Krishna doesn't want Ashwatthama to be killed, but he wants Arjuna to humiliate him also. So he tells Arjuna that you remove the money on the top of his forehead. So in that way, it is like similar to humiliating him also, but like insulting him and by not killing him also. So he removes Arjuna removes the money which is present on the forehead of Ashwatthama.
Well, you jumped the gun quite a bit. You came to the conclusion of the whole thing, right?
Sorry.
We got to hear a little bit more about, the pros and the cons. Should he be killed or should he not? Right?
Yeah.
This is a discussion.
Yeah, so Bhima, like somebody said, Bhima wanted him to be killed, but Draupadi did not want to be killed, did not want him. Like the Dharma Shastra says that he should not be killed. Artha Shastra says that he has to be killed.
All right, what you have to do, let's make some little groups. Padma Sundari Mataji, how many people have we got in the class?
$26.
Padma Sundari?
We have 24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 6 groups of 4.
Okay.
And we want each group to come up with the reasons why he should be killed and why he shouldn't be killed.
How much time, Maharaj?
Well, you shouldn't need a lot of time.
Yeah, because if I open the rooms, they'll join the rooms, so we have to tell them the time.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Please join the rooms.
Hare Krishna, can I ask a question?
Yes.
That is.
So you're group number 2. Right?
The person who.
Group number 2.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, so thank you. Yes.
And a person who. And
yeah.
should I carry on or should I just?
Well,
okay. And a person who knows. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, a person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy. And Krishna also says that a person should be killed for his own well-being. And as Arjuna had promised Draupadi that he has to kill the person who's killed his sons, her sons. So then he should kill. And Krishna is saying that he has also dissatisfied his master. So that's why he should also kill Ashwatthama. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so that's group number 2. Can we go ahead, Padma Sundari? Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Right? Okay, so we're talking here, this is our question. The arguments for and against the execution of Ashwatthama. You can see the nice illustration here. There's Ashwatthama bound up like an animal. Is everyone hearing okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
All
yes.
Right. And here you can see Bhima, he's got his sword up, he wants to kill him. And there's Draupadi coming forward, she wants to stop him. And in between them?
Krishna.
Lord Krishna. And how many arms has he got?
4.
Right, Chaturbhuj Krishna. And 2 arms to stop Draupadi, 2 arms to stop Bhima. Right, so this is the situation. So let's have a look, next slide. Okay, arguments for execution. Now, first argument, who would like it? Let's have group number 1, give one argument.
Yes, Maharaj. Argument for killing, first argument was that he has killed innocent boys.
Okay, very good. He's killed innocent boys in their sleep, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one argument. Let's have group number 2, give another argument. Group number 2. Someone from group number 2 give another argument.
Maharaj, because here Arjuna has given a promise to Draupadi that he'll kill Ashwatthama, so he has to maintain that promise, so he has to be killed.
He had given a promise to who?
Draupadi, that he'll kill Ashwatthama.
Did he?
He killed the murderer of her sons.
Did he actually give a promise like that?
Yes, Maharaj, it says in that text 38, Krishna says further, I personally heard your promise, Draupadi, that you would bring forth the head of the killer of the sons.
Okay. Group number 3. Can you give another argument?
Yeah, because there was another argument that Ashwatthama was a murderer in the sense that he dissatisfied his master, and there was basically a requirement to kill him immediately because he was acting like a Brahma Bandhu and he was not exhibiting any of the qualities of the Brahmana.
He wasn't, he dissatisfied his master. Who was his master?
Master was Duryodhan Maharaj.
Okay. He dissatisfied Duryodhan, and he didn't act like a Brahmana. He was a degraded Brahmana.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Group number 4. Can you come up with another reason?
Yes, in Hare Krishna, in verse 38, Krishna says, an aggressor should be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down. The words are, he will go down by his own actions.
Very good. Yeah. Someone who's an aggressor should be killed. Yes, very good. Group number 5.
Direction Maharaj, Bhishma also supported to kill the Durai's Ashwatthama.
I'm sorry, it's not very clear. Could you say it again?
Bhim supported to kill the Ashwatthama. Bhim.
Yeah, Bhim, he wants to kill him. He's in favor of killing him.
Yes, Maharaj.
Mm-hmm. But why? Why did Bhim want to kill him?
Because in the when Draupadi was about to be naked in the assembly, Bhim promised like that.
Yeah, he made a promise. Yeah. All right, group number 6. Any other reasons?
We have similar to the last reason, Maharaj. Specifically, Bhima wanted him killed because he mercilessly killed sleeping children for no purpose. So therefore, he should be killed.
For no legitimate reason, he killed innocent children.
Defenseless sleeping children, so he should be killed.
All right. Okay, Padma Sundari, can we go ahead? Let's see what reasons we have here listed. Arjuna promised to behead the aggressor. So that was mentioned, yes. And then, can we do it one at a time, Padma Sundari? Is that all one item? No, Padma Sundari. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, it's all one item together.
Well, the last one wasn't, you put the last one in, Can we go back?
It's all one item together. That's why it's all coming together.
Okay, go back again. Let me have it again. Let's have it again. Okay, stop here. Right? Krishna orders him to be killed. Krishna ordered him to be killed. Why? First of all, innocent boys in their sleep. All right? I think you all had that one. And then for his own well-being, otherwise he will go down by his own actions. I think some of you had that one. For his own well-being, for his own benefit. If the murderer is not killed, then he will suffer so much in the next life. But if the murderer is given capital punishment, then next life he will have a much better birth. And we see Ashwatthama, it's mentioned that Ashwatthama, that at the end of the Kali Yuga, he has a very good situation. He becomes one of the great sages. All right, then another reason Krishna gives, that he's an assassin and murderer of his own, of the family members of the Pandavas. All right, and then the last one, Padma Sundari, Bhima also advised killing him. Yeah, Bhima wants him killed. Because he's understood. Bhima just thinks he's done such a terrible thing. Bhima's son also was killed. Bhima had a son by Draupadi. He was also killed. So Bhima really wants him killed. He wants to see some action taken against him. All right. So these are some arguments for executing Ashwatthama. Go ahead. And now the arguments against that. Can we hear group 6? What's one reason why Ashwatthama should not be killed? Group 6.
Because he's son of a Brahmana.
He's the son of a Brahmana, yes. Brahmana shouldn't be killed.
Yeah.
Group 5, one reason?
Tariq Maharaj, because all his brothers, they were in the favor of not killing the Ashwatthama. Like Yudhishthira, Nakul and Sahadev, they were not in favor to kill Ashwatthama. All his brothers, they were not in favor of killing the Ashwatthama. Yudhishthira, Nakul and Sahadev.
Why were they not in favor of killing him?
Because Draupadi says that he should not be killed, being a pure devotee of the Lord. She said that being he's the son of your master, from where you learned the military art.
All right. Okay, there's one reason. Because he had given military arts. He's the son of the teacher. Okay, group 4.
Yes, Maharaj. Draupadi says that enraging the Brahmana order would cause it will burn the body of the royal family and bring grief upon all. So the argument is not to enrage the Brahmana order.
Not to enrage the Brahmana order. Okay. Because he's from the Brahmana family, though they don't want to do anything against the Brahmanas. Group 3.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Actually, Draupadi was thinking from the point of view of Kripi, who was the mother of Ashwatthama. So she felt the pain and agony on the death of her 5 sleeping sons. So she did not want, being merciful, that Mother Kripi should also feel the same pain and agony.
Very good. Yes, that's a good reason. That she didn't like to see Drona's wife, who was the mother of Ashwatthama. She didn't want to see her suffer like Draupadi's suffering. So that was a good reason. Yes. Group number 3.
Maharaj, actually it was group number 3, now group number 2.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Group 2.
Ashwatthama is representing Dronacharya because Dronacharya is no more. Killing Ashwatthama is like killing Dronacharya directly.
All right, yes, he's a representative of Dronacharya, representative of the Guru, so he shouldn't be killed. In group 1?
Yes, Maharaj. If the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, offends the Brahmana order and enrages them.
All right, enrages the Brahmanas. Yeah, we had that actually, that came up. All right, let's see what we've got here. Padmasundari Maharaji, first of all, in the absence of Dronacharya, his son was his representative, right? We had that mentioned. Next one. Do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. We had that also. Kripi, the mother of Ashwatthama, shouldn't cry like Draupadi. And then, offense to the Brahminical order. Yes, we had this one. You got this one? Yes? Indebted to the family of Dronacharya. Yes, you also got that one. The son of a great teacher should be spared. Yes, we had that. Devotees are never unkind to others, even to the enemy. You didn't get that one, right? This one you didn't get. That the devotees are never unkind to others, even to the enemy. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that that was the sign of Draupadi's pure devotion, that she didn't even have bad feelings towards the enemy. All right, is there another one, Padmasundari? Yes. The ruling is an aggressor, when he is without weapons or chariot, cannot be killed. So, Ashwatthama, he has no weapon or chariot, so he cannot really be killed. He's bound up, helpless. All right, so these are the arguments against killing. We'll go ahead. Next slide. So how to deal with this? Arjuna has to kill and not to kill, right? Someone can read?
A compromise was selected by Arjuna by his sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. This was as good as cutting off his head, and yet his life was saved for all practical purposes. Thus, being insulted, the humiliated Ashwatthama was simultaneously killed and not killed by the intelligence of Lord Krishna and Arjuna.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead. Next slide. Yes. Someone can read?
Lord Sri Krishna encouraged Arjuna outwardly just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. Krishna put to test many of his pure devotees just to magnify the sense of duty. The gopis were put to such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj also was put to such a test. All pure devotees come out successful in the respective tests.
Okay, so all tests. Prabhupada talks about the tests. Krishna makes tests for his pure devotees. And he gives the examples. Prahlad Maharaj, the gopis. How were the gopis tested? Somebody can answer. Janmashtami.
Well, Krishna left Vrindavan. And so they were serving in separation, Vipralamba Bhav. And that was really intensified their love and devotion for Krishna by the separation.
Okay, yeah. Krishna left, increased their ecstasy, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then what about Prahlad? How was Prahlad tested? Amala Manjari Mataji, do you know that?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj was also put to test?
Yes, Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was put to test by because Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill him. His own father was trying to kill him in different ways. Is that?
Was Srila Prabhupada tested? Murari Prabhu? Murari? Was Prabhupada put to test?
Maharaj, when he was trying to go to America, he was also having an infarct in the boat of Jaladuta.
So was it a test? What was it? How was it a test?
Yes, Krishna shows himself to him at the time, and he increased his faith that he shall go there and preach.
Okay. Yeah. Krishna makes tests for his devotees. We see in the Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Dhruva Maharaj going to the forest. Narada Muni comes to Dhruva Maharaj and tells him, "Oh, you're very small. Come back when you're grown up. You're not ready yet. You're just too young, too dangerous here." It was like a test. He wants to see, is Dhruva really determined? Is he really Dhruva? So we also have to expect tests to come. So Arjuna is put to test here. Arjuna is put to test how to apply this, how to apply himself in this situation, how to kill Ashwatthama and at the same time not kill him. So by cutting the jewel off his head, what happens? Anybody know?
Ashwatthama was deprived of his wealth and also his residence.
By cutting the jewel off his head, he was deprived of his wealth and his residence. Anything else?
Yes, he must leave the kingdom.
Yeah, he's driven out of the kingdom. Nobody wants him anymore because he's done such a terrible thing. It's described, Ashwatthama is also one of the Amaras, that he doesn't die. So it describes that for 3,000 years, he would wander in wastelands and nobody will ever speak to him. And his body will have a terrible smell. Nobody will come near him. For 3,000 years, he'll have to be punished like this. And by cutting the jewel off his head, he'd also lost all of his effulgence. Of course, by his very sinful activity, he'd also lost a lot of his effulgence and all of his spiritual power and strength. His great power and strength was all diminished. It was all taken from him by cutting that jewel off his head. So it was a great punishment. But after many years, he will remain in this world through the Kali Yuga. And when it comes to Satya Yuga, then he has some purpose again. He's given some duty, becomes one of the great sages. So it's all pastime. Okay, we'll go ahead. Oh, an interesting section from a purport by Srila Prabhupada. Women as a class are no better than boys, and therefore they have no discriminatory power like that of a man. So, of course, this is in relation to who?
Draupadi.
Yes, in relation to Mother Draupadi, that because she was showing, what was Draupadi? She was showing this affection towards Ashwatthama. She didn't want that he should be abused, that she didn't think it was right that he was bound up and treated like an animal. And so Prabhupada picks up on this point that women as a class sometimes have this problem that they don't have the discriminatory power like that of a man. Women tend to be more soft-hearted. So how could this statement be misinterpreted? Maybe you can sit in pairs, take a partner, and discuss for a few minutes.
Welcome back, everybody.
Okay, nice to have everyone back. Let's take some feedback. I'd like to hear, let's begin with the Mataji. Let's hear a lady, first of all, tell us what is her opinion about this? How might this be, abused or wrongly applied? One of the ladies would like to offer their contribution. What about Jai Radhe? Jai Radha?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So in our discussion, what we thought is Draupadi's view was given a lot of importance by Krishna and the others. And it was because of Draupadi's desire that Ashwatthama was actually brought to the palace for punishment in front of everyone. But Krishna also respected Draupadi's later desire not to punish Ashwatthama on account of her being a pure devotee of Krishna, and decided not to punish him, but at the same time understood that the discriminatory power of women may not be as good as man, and took a step where he did not really compromise on punishing Ashwatthama, but at the same time he listened or wanted the desire of Draupadi to be executed in terms of not punishing Ashwatthama.
Yeah, but you didn't really comment on this point about the abuse of, how it might be abused, this nature of women to make judgments or to be weak, a little soft-hearted in dealing with issues. You didn't get into that at all. You're just talking about the text. We want your opinion. The answer's not in the book. We want to hear from you. Maybe we can ask some other lady.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, can I just say add on if you permit me?
Your voice is not clear.
Can I just say if you permit me? Hare Krishna, can I speak on? Yes. Maharaj, actually a woman is very mild by nature. So when Ashwatthama was brought to her, she was not able to decide genuinely. Because of a mild nature, she said no, he should not be killed. Whereas a man, he's strong by nature, so he thinks rationally, more rationally than a woman. Like we can give an example of Arjuna. Like as a devotee, he was soft-hearted and he didn't want to fight. but fight the battle. But when Krishna asked him, ordered him to fight, then he judged rationally and then he fought. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Question. You haven't given me a comment on the question about the nature of women and how they might be. Oh. Hare Krishna. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maraji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I have the answer as women are regarded as less intelligent or weak, but it's not in the case with Draupadi, or we also see with Mother Sita or Mother Queen Kunti, how courageous they are. So it's
okay. So you say that if women are accepted as being soft-hearted, then we may think that all women are weak.
yes. Weak or like less intelligent.
Oh, weak or less intelligent. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes.
It also can be misinterpreted saying that women think more from the heart than from the mind. She doesn't use the intelligence, or just relying on the emotions rather than intelligence. And also it can be misinterpreted to say like women can't be given any responsibility or a powerful position.
Yes, this is interesting. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is a kind of thing which might come up. We may think like that, and we may generalize that all women are sentimental and weak-hearted.
Yeah.
We can't trust them. They'll just keep them at home, let them be housewives and have children.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, one more point I wish to share. Like, because of this, the women are ill-treated by men, and they are like by saying abusive languages to them and by beating them, like they feel that they are weak, so we can do anything with them, and they should not reply back.
All right, thank you. Women can be taken advantage of. We can do anything with them. They don't have any position. We don't need to listen to them. All right, so let's hear from some men. Murari Prabhu, can you give us your thought on this?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, we were also speaking about this point that women are lower than the men. They can take it like that because of this statement of Prabhupada. And also it arises the question or discussion about the liberated women movements, which try to be like the men's, and men in this way try to exploit the women's because but actually they are like different natures, so they should be not compared, the men's and women's, but men's are trying to making that in this way that they can be exploited, and therefore this question can arise from this. Otherwise, Prabhupada is mentioning this in a proper way.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yes. So Prabhupada is mentioned like that the women in general, they do have that tendency to be soft-hearted, and they don't always show the right strength of discrimination in dealing with issues. They allow their own affections and feelings to influence judgments. All right. Maybe we'll just take one more comment from a man. Anybody like to offer anything?
Yes, Maharaj, may I?
All right, Prabhu.
Maharaj, it's a counterpoint, really, that whilst what is being discussed may be the essence of it all, but there is a counterpoint to this, that because me being a marriage counselor, by the way, I have sensed that many of the men are actually suffering because of, unfortunately, the cases I'm dealing with, because the women have tried to take the position of the men. The man has had to become very subservient to the demands of the woman. So I just wanted to throw in a counterpoint to our discussion.
Yeah, this could be very topical, big issue. Very interesting. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. That's the man's side. One point from the man's side. Yes.
May I?
Yeah, we don't have time now, Prabhu. I'm sorry. We'll just have to go on. And we'll hear from you another time because time is short. We have limited time and have still a bit more to go. Can we go ahead? Yes? Go ahead. Yeah. Can someone read the quote?
We should not give up our reason and discriminatory power just to be gentle. One must have good discriminatory power to judge a thing on its merit. We should not follow the mild nature of a woman and thereby accept that which is not genuine.
Right. So Prabhupada talks about the mild nature of a woman. Well, that's a fortunate man who has a woman with a mild nature, right? He's very lucky. Not all women have a mild nature. Okay, let's go ahead. All right. Oh, we're going to just move in here into the beginning of the eighth chapter, because in the next class we'll begin with the prayers of Queen Kunti. But beginning the 8th chapter, can we have the text? Oh. Anyway, what's happening is after the protection, after the dealing with Ashwatthama, then after dealing with Ashwatthama, then of course Ashwatthama tries to throw another Brahmastra weapon, which also has to be counteracted by Lord Krishna. Oh, that comes after Queen Kunti's prayers, doesn't it? Let me see, I have to refresh my memory how the 8th chapter begins. Chapter 8, text number 1. I want text number 1. All right. Sutta Goswami. No. Thereafter, the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges with Draupadi, and the ladies walked in front. Okay. Text 2. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Wonderful. Go ahead. There sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhisthira, along with his younger brothers, and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. Go ahead. Text 4. Citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. So we could understand the situation, something of the situation, how painful it must have been for all of them, that they were there. And so many of the relatives and family members have all been killed. Not only the sons of Draupadi, the sons of Dhritarashtra, and then Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna also, and so many thousands, millions of people all died in the battle of Kurukshetra. So the situation was overwhelming, and they're naturally feeling very despondent. When we ever go to a funeral, it's not a very ecstatic event, right? It's very thought-provoking. So reading text number 5, the clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhisthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. So because of the rough handling of the hair of Draupadi, all of these people had to die, all of these different kings, they were all removed in the battle of Kurukshetra. Lord Krishna does not allow anyone to mistreat his devotees, his pure devotees, like Draupadi. All right? So we want to have a little, just with the time left, we want you to think about this protection in ISKCON. From the purport of verse number 5, in the glorious days, or before the advent of the age of Kali, the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men were given protection. Go ahead. The next slide. How Prabhupada's purport to 8.5 gives insight into his mission and that of ISKCON. Yes, there's a bit more. How effective have we implemented these guidelines in ISKCON? It's a big topic, I know. But let's see. You know, you were all in groups, right? We had groups of 4 people. Six. There were 6 groups of 4 people. So, who were the different in ISKCON? And then also we have the Brahmanas. Group 3 will consider the position of the Brahmanas. Group 4 will consider the old men. All right? And we still have 2 more groups. Group 5, you can take the women. And group 6, you can take the Brahmanas. Is it clear? Can we go back to the question again? Padmasundari? So our time is up now, but what we can do, you keep your notes on this topic, and to the next class, we will begin with this discussion. I'll hear your feedback on these different points. But keep it brief. We don't want too much, you know, it's just a simple exercise. So we will stop here. I'm not going to go over time. I won't keep you late. I'm sure you have a lot to do. So we'll meet next weekend, next Saturday, right?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.